Hello, everybody. Nate Wolf here from the Born to Be Wild podcast. Trying something a little bit new today and making a deck spotlight video. For those of you who know me, I play a lot of Cubelock. Warlock is probably my favorite class. I've played quite a bit of all the classes, but this is near and dear to my heart. I have hit legend with different versions of this deck over the past 2 months. And so I thought I would start making some spotlight videos and thought I'd start with this one because I'm very comfortable playing it. Essentially, the core of Cubelock is the same, and the idea of Cubelock is the same, is that you want to cheat out big demons for free or for less mana. And so there's a lot of different versions floating around. This particular version that I'll be talking about today, I got from Mentalistic, but the core is very similar to most other Cubelock decks. So almost all the Cubelock decks have got 2 copies of Mistress of Mixtures. This is great because this deck, if you can reach the mid to late game, you generally do pretty well against aggro. But if a deck can kill you by turn 5, turn 6, you just can't recover quick enough. And so I love playing Mistress of Mixtures early. That lets you tap without worrying too much about your life total. And it is core to just about every Cubelock deck. Plague of Flames is one of the only ways typically to destroy your own cube or destroy your own Void Caller while at the same time destroying a minion on your opponent's board. Defile, of course, is one of the best Warlock board clears ever made. It's just a great card. Dark Skies is another board clear. Typically in this deck, you oftentimes have quite a few cards in your hand, and so this is good as an early board clear against widespread of small minions. This is good, decent as a later board clear against one minion with higher health. Sense Demons, of course, to pull the demons from your deck. Void Caller is like the OG demon who you want to drop. You want to have demons in your hand. This will pull out a Dreadlord, a Mal'Ganis, a Void Lord. And so for 4 mana plus a clear or running it into something, you can drop one of these big guys over here. Which is great against aggro. A lot of times you'll just get instant concedes. Of course, Cube. We all know the Cube, right? Destroy a friendly minion, death rattle, summon 2 copies. These days, not too many people are running Silence, but still, you have to be careful for it, because if this gets shuffled back into your deck or silenced, it hurts pretty bad. The Faceless Manipulator is great. There's so much synergy here. And a lot of times when I play it, it's very situational, depending on the state of the board. If I really need to, or if I've got a great hand, I will copy a Void Caller. If I'm really trying to hate on Arena Priest, I'll copy an Albatross. If if I am facing an aggro deck or like Secret Mage or something like that, and I've got a Mal'Ganis out, or oftentimes if I've got a Mal'Ganis out, I want to copy it anyways because they'll have to spend their resources killing my Mal'Ganis before they can do any face damage to me. Also keep in mind that whatever you copy, if it's a demon, it will go into your res pool for Gul'Dan. If it has Death Rattle, it'll go into your res pool for N'Zoth. And so, again, it's very situational. But anyhow, Ziliax is here because you're tapping quite often in this deck. And so it's just good against aggro. You get some health back, and it's got the taunt and the lifesteal. Dreadlord is one of the best demon cards ever. The list used to run 2 copies of Doomguard, but Doomguard feels bad when it sits in your hand too long, or you've got to like YOLO and play a Doomguard, and it always discards Mal'Ganis and Gul'Dan, or Gul'Dan and N'Zoth. We don't want that. Also, there's a lot of aggro these days, and so this is just an all-around really good card. Mal'Ganis, of course, is fantastic. Makes you immune, buffs your other demons. Void Daddy is the probably one of the best cards, if not the best card against aggro. It's just really difficult to go through with it between the 9 health and the 3/1/3s with taunt. There are a couple different versions of this deck that combo with multiple copies of Gul'Dan, multiple copies of N'Zoth. We're not running that today, but I can get into that a different episode. This version we've been running because there are a lot of Reno priests on the ladder, and so how do we mess with Reno decks? We shuffle multiple copies of something into their deck to ruin their Highlander synergy, and so this is where Albatross comes along. It's not quite as good now as it was before the nerf. It used to cost 3 mana. Now it costs 4. But the death rattle is shuffle 2 1/1s into your opponent's deck. Now, if you need to or really want to mess with them, you can Faceless Manipulator. You can cube it. It does have some synergy here with Vectis, who is a new addition to this deck. Vectis Battlecry says summon 2 1/1 whelps. Each gains a death rattle from your minions that died this game. So it will, if you've played the Albatross, one of your 1/1 whelps will also shuffle 2 1/1s into their deck. So that's fantastic. You need to be a little bit careful when you play Vectis, but it also can assume the death rattle of a Void Caller. You don't want it to assume the death rattle of a cube because it will do nothing. Let's see here. The only other card I think I haven't really talked too much about is the Broomstick. Now, back in the day when more people were running this, or when this deck was in standard, people were running a lot of silence because you could drop a carnivorous cube on the board unprotected and people would silence it, and that would hurt. And so sometimes what we think about is, how do I destroy my own minion in the same turn that I play it? And Broomstick is also good against aggro. So if I drop my Void Caller and I want to cheat out one of these large demons over here, I can play a Void Caller and Broomstick and attack with it the same turn I played it. Same with the cube, same with the Albatross, because we don't want our stuff to get silenced. We don't want our stuff to get stolen or shuffled away. What people used to play in this deck was Dark Pact, but stopped playing it after it got nerfed. It previously said, I believe it was restore 8 health to your hero, or something. Maybe it was 6. I don't know. It was a lot, but for 1 mana, and it's just not good enough to run anymore. I've seen a couple other versions of this deck, and I am happy to talk about one of them later, but I think that's pretty much it. I want to go ahead and play a few games with this and see how it goes. I'll talk through my decision making, and there's always some kind of hidden synergies here. Anyways, let's get started. I mean, I'll post the list in the description below, and happy to answer any questions. I'm currently on the Wild Legend ladder. I've DK'd. I came in around, 180 or something, I think, on day 4 this month. And I haven't played a whole lot since then. But let's jump right in and play through a few games. And I'll talk through the decisions. Kind of. Hopefully we win. I guess we'll see. At least there's a bunch of people on here. Hopefully now the queue times aren't too long.
Gul'Dan versus Thrall.
For Doomhammer, your soul shall be mine.
All right, so we're playing against the Shaman. The question is it even Shaman? Is it Big Shaman? This current meta, it's probably one of the two. Probably Big Shaman. Which typically is okay for us because at the end of the day, we have a lot more resources than they do. We can last longer, but if they're able to cheat out something giant that we can't deal with, that gets a little bit difficult. I think where we struggle against this deck is that they have Devolve, and Devolve hurts really bad. I'm going to toss the Gul'Dan. There's no way I can play it anytime soon. Normally, I would not keep the Dreadlord, but with the Void Caller in hand, I'm going to. Again, Devolve hurts us really bad, so I guess we'll see. I'm not going to play the Broomstick. It doesn't make sense to play it on turn 1. Clearly, it's not an even shaman. So their game plan is to get a giant minion out, like cheat it out in the same way that we do. In fact, he's probably going to do it right now. Muckmorpher, right? And so I guess we'll see what it turns into, and I'm going to hope that it's not something with the Death Rattle. That's really interesting.
Open yourself up to magic.
Huh. So what did we give him? We gave him a cube. Okay. I don't want this to live, so I'm going to kill it. I'm going to go ahead and play the Dark Skies now. The game plan is Void Caller on 4. I'm a little disappointed that he just got a copy of my cube. I wish that they would have got Sense Demons or a Broom or something else, but oh well.
From the void I come.
Again, Devolve kind of hurts for us, but if he's got it, they probably want to save it anyways. So I've got a couple choices here. I don't want to cube it. If I cube it, I have a chance of pulling another Void Caller. I don't really want to do that. I could Faceless it, but again, I don't really want to pull these two. I think I want to Sense Demons. It doesn't feel like a great play, though. Well, and I really don't want to bait out a Devolve too much. I'm going to go ahead and Sense Demons here. And then I'll tap as well. Okay, you got to be careful about overdrawing as well. We don't even care about this. I probably should have gone face last turn. I'm trying to bait out. I'm trying to bait out his board clears or bait out his Devolve. Save my big guys. I really don't want my res pool. Him stealing stuff or him. If my big demons get devolved, they won't go back into my res pool, so that's a problem. I really want...
I wonder.
A Gibberling, interesting. Alright. Well...
What mess have you summoned me to?
We always want to play Skull, like, as soon as we can. I'm very tempted to run the Albatross into his Gibberling just to mess up his card draw a little bit. These two things I really don't care about. Again, some of these decks will run 2 times Devolve, 2 times Devolving Missiles, so... So, what Big Shaman wants to do is to give his Colossus of the Moon something that resurrects it multiple times.
I wonder.
Yeah, that's a little scary, right?
There is little time.
There is a method to my madness.
Now, the thing that people often forget... Oh, shut up. The thing that people often forget is that with Faceless, you can copy someone else's stuff as well. And... let's see here. My ordering was poor here, but this should do the trick, right? Let us kill this thing. And I think we just win next turn, right? Oh, I don't have my deck tracker running, but I've got lethal here unless he can clear the board. I always wanted to see Pit Commander in a Warlock deck. He's gonna pull Mal'Ganis or something. And Hadronox, oh my god. I've got 20 damage. If he pulls the Mal'Ganis, it's lethal. So...
There is little time.
oh, the Hadronox is so good too. Okay, so does it say at the end of my turn, summon a demon from my deck? All right. Let us see here. What big taunts died without the deck tracker? That's frustrating. I'm gonna play Sense Demons because I want the Mal'Ganis. And I'm gonna cube. Let's see. Let's just go face. And let's cube the Hadronox. It should be enough to... oh, I do not have any demons left in my deck. That's disappointing. I might lose here. But I don't think... if a full devolve, I think, would mess me up pretty bad. If he's got another one. In hindsight, I probably should not have Sense Demons because I would have just gotten a free Mal'Ganis or a Voidlord. Now, the health here is really low. Especially if I'm able to pull the Mal'Ganis out. I should just be able to win. Rock and roll. Alright, well that was fun. Alright, I'm gonna put the deck tracker back up so I can talk to these just a little bit better. I'm gonna pause the video super quick. Alright, let's play a little bit more. I'd like to get several different matchups on this video.
Gul'Dan versus Tyrande.
You give me strength.
Your soul shall be mine.
Okay. We've got a priest here. I'm going to keep the skull. The other two, normally I would keep a void collar, but I really would like to get some birds to mess up any sort of Reno strategies, because if I can't, unfortunately, we probably just lose this matchup. In the version with the Doomguard, sometimes you can pressure them enough to just run them out of resources or win early. If we can't ruin the Highlander synergies between Reno and Kazakas and Zephyrs and Raza, then we probably lose, unfortunately. So I'm going to be digging for birds and trying to really ruin their synergies here. I guess we'll see what happens. Also, something that's kind of interesting to note, that since this latest patch, there's an animation glitch. If you look at Tyrande in the background, I guess they're struggling to choose their cards. Anyways, you can see the, oh, and that's how you beat Reno Priest. Anyways, there's a glitch. You can see the animation is all buggy in the background. By the way, I totally think I misplayed that last game. I'm not used to using the broomsticks, and I think I'm not used to the idea that they give things rush, and so my ordering was wrong. I think that in hindsight, I mean, I won, so that's good, but I would have played it out differently, where after something gets pulled from my deck, like if I had run my Void Caller into something, it pulls the Giant Demon, and then I play the Broomstick, that would have been better. Anyways, we'll see. Again, I would always keep Mistress in the opening hand. I like it because then I can start tapping on turn 2 without worrying about my life total. Void Caller, I almost always keep no matter what. But Mal'Ganis I would normally toss, but with the Void Caller at hand, this is pretty spicy. Again, we're afraid of Devolve, depending on what it is, and I think that both Even Shaman and Big Shaman run it, but there's only so much you can do. And if the card is big enough, you know, you still can end up with a decent board. I wish that... Oh, what? There's always a possibility that it could be some kind of Shutterwalk or Reno deck as well. I'm expecting to see Big Shaman here, but I don't know why they're playing Primordial Studies. Discover a spell damage minion. Interesting. I mean, it could be some sort of aggro thing, but that seems like a tough turn 1. On my next turn, looking at what my options are, I can tap, see what I get. I can sense demons, but I've got 2 really awesome demons here, so like I don't really want to do that. I think I'll just tap instead. Normally I would play these, but I really want my Void Caller to pull one of these 2. They're so good.
This might sting.
This could very well be some kind of Malygos if he's running spell damage. I don't know. In fact, I'm pretty darn sure it is Malygos. Which really makes me question... do I want to play Void Caller on 4, or do I want to clear the board with the Dark Skies? I think those are my 2 choices. I really am tempted to kill this Spirit of the Frog because it's a draw engine, and I really don't want. So he's got what, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8, so this will clear the board, and it gets around the stealth. I mean, it feels like kind of because we don't develop any board presence, but that Spirit of the Frog is really the draw engine for that deck, and I don't want to leave it there and have them draw their whole deck and pull out a Malygos and kill me.
What to do?
Ideally, I can get out this Mal'Ganis, and then they'll have to use up all of their spell damage cards, taking out my minion instead of on my face, which would be really nice. So, unless something crazy happens, I'm planning on playing the Void Caller this next turn.
I wonder. There is little time.
The Ziliax is pretty nice. If this is all spell damage, but like, I mean, there's a chance I just lose here, right? If you do nothing but go face with all your spells. I'm really tempted to play the Ziliax here, but I'm worried that if I don't get the Mal'Ganis out, then I'm just going to die due to spell damage.
A charming composition.
Now, he's making my job a little bit easier here with the 4/4 because I can kill my own Void Caller this way. Oh. Or not. So I'm definitely going to be playing... Definitely going to be playing the Ziliax here.
Precision. Perfection. Primitive.
Just to get a little bit more health. It's not a lot, but it's a little bit.
Bring out your dead.
From the void I come.
I'm not going to tap at all because my health is dangerously low here. Though, honestly, I would love something to kill my own cube. Sometimes this deck runs an Ancestor's Call so that they can pull their own Malygos. And then do all the spell damage to my face. Oof. That is the totem that we don't want them to have also. Like, that one hurts us. The other ones I really don't care about. What I'm really looking for is like a Plague of Flames. Or something that would allow me to kill my own cube here, because I would really like to get 2 copies of Mal'Ganis. Okay. Okay. The reason I did that, I mean, there was a 50% chance, right? It was either going to go Mal'Ganis or it was going to go Dreadlord. Normally I wouldn't cube that, but like my health is so low that I would much rather have him use his remaining spell damage cards to have to kill the Mal'Ganis. And then I sense demons to thin my deck, because what I really want is a Faceless Manipulator or a cube. God, they keep high rolling on the totems. That hurts pretty bad. I'm playing the Dreadlord rather than playing the Voidlord, just so that if it dies for some reason, I'm probably just dead here, right? Yeah.
I'll write that down.
Oh well, good game. You really have to play to your outs, and I think it's important to, you know, you play the best you can. You recognize that you can't win them all. And I don't know that there's anything that I could have done differently there. It's a matchup that we don't see very often, so it's interesting.
Gul'Dan versus Deathwing.
Embrace the chaos. Your soul shall be mine.
If I'm facing a warrior, there's 3 different possibilities, maybe 4 different possibilities that I think about, right? It's either a real aggressive, like a pirate warrior, Galakron, bomb warrior, something like that. It could be an odd warrior. It could be Dead Man's Hand. Don't particularly... I would prefer to play pretty anti-aggro just in case. If it's odd warrior, we like the Dreadlord, but we can wait. Either way, I'm not really too concerned about the Albatross. If it was a priest or some other, a mage, maybe I'd take it. So the plan here is to Mistress on 1, tap on 2, sense demons on 3.
Side effects? No. Trust me.
So we know it's not Odd Warrior. It's probably not Pirates if they're tapping on 2. So it leads me to think that it's some kind of Dead Man's Hand, which I don't like. I've already got a large hand and a whole bunch of demons. So rather than clog it up too much, I'm going to coin out the Void Caller because I'm happy if it pulls either of these 2. And then next turn I can sense demons to get a couple more. If I can drop a Mal'Ganis and play the Faceless on that is pretty good. Really care about 0% that that he just did this. So the question is, do I sense demons first before I run into this guy? And I think the answer is no, because right now it's going to choose one of these 2. If I don't, you know, there's the chance that it would pull a... the other demons I got in my deck, 1 more copy of Voidlord, 1 more Mal'Ganis, 1 Dreadlord, or a Void Caller. I'm just gonna do it. Now we'll pull a couple more.
Side effects? No. Trust me.
Again, I'm not quite sure what this is. I mean, they haven't put any bombs in my deck yet. It's probably some kind of Dead Man's Hand. Oh man, of all the things that it could have pulled.
Much rage.
All right. I would love the skull. Wouldn't mind a Vectis, to be honest. All right. I can't really play any of this stuff, right? I've got 8, so let's Oh, well, there we go. At least we can Vectis next turn. I assume the weapon that he pulled was the bomb. The whatever it's called that shovels bombs into my deck. I have to be a little bit careful because some of these guys will run the Cold Light Oracle to make you draw a bunch of cards. And typically, with these decks, I end up with quite a few cards in my hand, and that makes me a little bit nervous, but that's all right. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Vectis. It should give me the Death Rattle of... I suppose just one. No. It'll give me the Mistress of Mixtures, and it'll give me the Void Caller, right? Yeah. I'm okay with that. Now, if there's some synergy here that I want to point out, if the opponent had a board, like this is great because I can Broomstick. This is great because I can Defile. This is great because I can Plague. I don't really want to do any of that. And I don't want to tap either. But the option's there. It's a pretty good anti-aggro tool. Okay, so we've confirmed now that it's Dead Man's Hand.
I'll show you who's boss.
Which makes me just want to start smashing face. Please pull the Mal'Ganis.
Armor made.
Drink of blood. Drink of black.
I am only more dead.
Okay.
I found a new source of power. Blood for blood.
Begin the torture.
Would love to get my skull out. So I've got 13 damage right now. It really doesn't do much aside from hit his armor. This deck for sure will run 2 copies of Brawl. And so it makes me a little bit nervous to go too wide. So he's pulling his Risky Skipper here. Which I frankly don't care all that much about. This makes me a little bit nervous, but I'm going to go ahead and play the Mal'Ganis and try to bait out. I mean, it is what it is, right? But it makes me do so much more damage. So I just went from 13 to 23. Now, I mean, I'm predicting it right now, like Brawl incoming. But if for whatever reason he doesn't Brawl, then I will be copying them. I mean, honestly, if he doesn't Brawl, then I just got lethal. But
I'll show you who's boss.
Let the pain speak to me.
Your wish is my suggestion.
on 4 mana, it will give him the card that destroys anything with 5 attack or greater. Whatever it's called, Shadow Word Ruin, I believe. I'm surprised. No, did it work? Did it? I missed that. He just shuffled a bunch of stuff into his deck. I doubt that it even work. Okay, okay. We don't have weapon removal. I have to... Let's see here. The question is, do I take stuff out? I kind of want to just kill... All right, let's do this, actually. We just have lethal now, right? Am I... Yeah, here we go. Alright. Well, that's how you do it. Alright, we've been at it for 40 minutes. Let's play, we can play maybe one or two more. That's a tricky matchup. I don't think the Zephyrs, I missed it. I don't think that Zephyrs actually went off. Doesn't make sense to run Zephyrs in a deck where you're shuffling your whole hand back into your deck, right? There's got to be a whole bunch of multiples. So.
Gul'Dan versus Throw.
Good lord, are we going to see anything besides Shaman?
Your soul shall be
I will keep one of these Sense Demons. It's not bad on 3, and I do have the coin. Okay, well, I guess we'll see what this is. I wouldn't mind an even Shaman. Ah, there we go.
into our strength.
So here's the current game plan, and we have to play around their moves, right? But here's the basic game plan. I try to think multiple moves ahead of time, like chess, right? So Mistress on 1, Tap on 2, Sense on 3, Void Caller on 4. But it all changes depending on what the opponent does.
Trust me.
But the curve is very nice. And frankly, I mean, we do have to play around Devolve, but having the Mal'Ganis and the Voidlord into an aggressive deck is pretty good for us. I wish that I had some kind of early game board clear. And I might now, I either want to dig for like Dark Skies or Defile. Next turn, I think I want to probably coin out the Void Caller. The nice thing with these decks is they play into Defile really well. If I can pull one, right? So I want my Void Caller to die and pull out the Mal'Ganis or the Voidlord. It feels really good against this deck. I also would really like some AoE. A Defile or a Dark Skies would be really good. That hurts. Now, next turn, if he plays something big...
Elements I like. Totems I love.
I probably just die. Frankly, I probably just die here. It's not super helpful. I mean, he's got 10 damage. If he doesn't kill me right now, I'm probably okay. Yeah. That was rough to have a whole board basically to do nothing the first few turns, and the Devolve hurt pretty bad. Alright, well, let's play a couple more matchups here and see. Let's see if we can get anything that's not Shaman. That would be nice. Maybe play one or two more. I don't want to go past an hour. Holy Q times, Batman. Come on, let's do this. By the way, thinking about the devolve turns, like, you know, devolve hurts this deck very bad, but like, can we play around it? Like, I don't,
Gul'Dan
not really.
versus Valera.
Watch your back.
All right.
Your soul shall be mine.
So there's a good chance that this is Kingsbane, right? There's a couple of different versions. Most of them running lots and lots of pirates. It could be something else. It could be some. I've seen some Galacron. I've seen some Reno. I've seen some Milrogue, and some other shenanigans with the Death Rattle stuff lately. I'm definitely keeping the Dark Skies and the Defile because against the early game pirates, these are lifesavers. The Sense Demons, do I really want? Like, if I play this on 3 to pull a Void Caller on 4, it's pretty nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
None will
Odd Rogue. Okay. I mean, same type of deal, right? If I can get out the giant taunt minions, then I win. The game plan is a little bit different. They don't have all these 1 health pirates. So the question is, like, do I use my Defile now? And... or take 3 to the face next turn. Like, I would love to get more value out of the Defile. But I'm really tempted. Like, I don't really want to take 3 to the face. I need a stall here. This deck will run the 3/3. It will run Lotheb. It will run the Henchclan Thug, the 3/3 that gets +1/+1 after you attack. And so they're not really good Defile targets because it's not they don't go incrementally 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like what I just did was risky, you know, but like his turn 2 is going to be a dagger, right? And so, or it should be, maybe.
You here for the tour?
Okay. Well, there goes my Defile, right? But what am I looking at now? 6 damage. So here's the question. Do I sense demons and try to pull a Void Caller? The Void Caller doesn't really... I mean, I think I need to. I can clear the board with the Dark Skies. And I save myself from 4 damage. But the Void Caller... Yeah, see, the Void Caller into the Void Lord, like, wins me this matchup. I just have to not die.
Love the feel of wind in me sails.
In hindsight, clearly, I should have saved my Defile. Now, where I would normally play out the Void Caller, I'm now sitting here looking at 7 damage on the board that I really don't want. 8. I'm off by 1 as far as taking out the board, but I think I needed to do that. At least now I have something to run my Void Caller into.
Feed the fish, landlubber.
Okay. All right. So here's what we do. I've got 6 mana. I'm going to go face. And just take out the board. Honestly, I wish that it had pulled one of the other two. It's okay. It just means that he can't go face, but it means that he's got to kill it now. A taunt would have been a lot nicer for me. With my health this low, it makes me really nervous. I probably just lose this. I mean, I Dreadlord next turn if I'm not dead, but like, the chances of me being dead are very high. Yeah. What is it? Am I off by 1? Interesting. Interesting. Do I just die no matter what?
I found a new source of power.
I mean, he's got to run the Leroy and the weapon into it, right?
Consider this a house call.
Yep. That's a shame. I think if the Void Caller would have pulled the Void Lord or the Dreadlord, that I probably would have not died. Also, in hindsight, I should have not played the Defile on turn 1. Or turn 2, rather.
Gul'Dan versus Elise.
Class is in session.
Your soul shall be mine.
Alright, I don't want any of this stuff. The only druid that I've seen all month is aggro druid. I want AoE board clears. I want a Void Caller that can pull out a giant taunt. I've only seen the one priest deck that just conceded, so I don't like any of this stuff.
Avast me.
Yeah, this deck gets out of control super fast when they can win by like turn 5. So the soonest opportunity that I can for a board clear, I will take it. I really wish that I had one, frankly. The Void Caller into the Dreadlord is good. The problem is that I'm not going to be able to play it for 2 more turns, and I might be dead. Yep. There's just nothing I can do here. There's nothing I can do here. Even the Defile doesn't work. Like, they've put all of their stuff up out of Defile range.
You win this time.
you need, like, it's an all or nothing deck, right? So I need to defile on like turn 2, maybe turn 3, or a Dark Skies. A little disappointing, not gonna lie. The interesting thing about this deck in particular, like this one's running no Kobold Librarians, which you see in almost every Cubelock deck. It's really teched against Reno decks, and we've seen none. So, at least during this latter experience, has not been very beneficial.
Gul'Dan versus Throw.
For Doomhammer. Your
All right,
soul
Smelly
shall be
Feet.
mine.
I don't want any of this stuff. We'll see what it is. I assume it's Big Shaman. I don't know. If it is an even Shaman, the Dark Skies is helpful. Okay, and it's not. Okay, we want to start dropping stuff on the board. So turn 3, Sense Demons, ideally into a turn 4 Void Caller. The Devolve or Devolving Missiles still hurts us, but I don't know that we can really play around it. Oh. Well, that was nice. I'm going to play the Void Caller because I don't want this Void Caller pulling it. I want it to pull one of these 3. Yeah, there you go. The problem is he's going to run his thing right into it. Or what he'll do is he'll play, you know, the Spores or something to revive this when it comes back. As long as he doesn't devolve, I'm pretty much okay with it. He stole an Albatross, okay. Alright, so what do you do here? Alright, well, it could be worse. I don't really want to cube it, like... I'd rather cube something that I want extra copies of something. He sort of like YOLO'd out that Ancestor's Call, which I think is a mistake. What I do like... Okay, so by him playing the Albatross, I get to run my little dude into it. It pulls a Dreadlord, which I really like. And then I've got a couple options here. Like, I can cube this, and he just gets punished. But I'm subject to devolve, so I don't know that I want to do that. Rather, I think that I will faceless it. And worst case scenario, he does a devolve, I get a 7-mana minion. This particular totem I could care less about. Okay. The Plague is nice. I'm going to save it. So Plague with Cube is great. But so here's the thing with this deck. If you leave stuff out, they've got a bunch of cards that will add death rattles to these minions to revive them. I don't want him to revive this. I want it gone. I could cube one of these, but I really don't want to. I'd rather wait until he plays another big minion. That also means because he played Eureka, it means that he's got another copy of it in his hand. So
I am only more deadly.
where this gets a little dicey for the opponent here is now he's sort of on the clock. Like, I mean, I could defile here just to goof with him a little bit. I mean, he's on the clock now, so there's no reason for me to not go face. Now, he's running on turn 8. He'll play the Walking Fountain. He's going to have to, otherwise he's going to die. But I should still have lethal, I think. I'm going to use the Defile here just to get rid of these guys. So turn... Oh, is he short of mana because he overloaded something? We just win then, right? Unless he's able to Eureka. He would want to play Walking Fountain on 8, but he's overloaded. Was it from the far side?
I'll show them. I'll show them.
No, from the portal. Okay. What? Oh. I don't like that. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and play this Void Lord. I still want to get him like pushing lethal. I don't want to kill this thing because it would potentially buff his Walking Fountain. What I want to do, so at any given time, I can cube something and then I can plague and get 2 copies of it. Okay, so he gets 8 health back.
I am only more deadly.
So here's what we do here, and I think this helps quite a bit. If I play the Gul'Dan, I get the Mal'Ganis back.
A bargain forged in blood and shadow.
What am I, 1-off lethal? So I think I just win here. Unless he's able to do something really crazy. So there's a buffed minion. Yeah, okay. But I was going to say I should be able to clear whatever it is. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to end it. This video's been going for about an hour, so I'm going to call it. I'm not quite sure what do we just go 4 and 4 here or something like that. But you can see, I mean, where it struggles is against the aggro. I mean, again, let me pull up this deck one more time. It struggles against the aggro sometimes. I'm not sure whether or not I love the Broomstick. It's in there to be able to rush with the Albatross or the Void Color or the Cube. The same term that you play them, or with one of these little Vectis whelps. Overall, the deck is good. So yeah, I hope that this was informative. If you liked it, please, hit like and subscribe or comments or whatever. And, I will see you all on Born to be Wild. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me.